Here we are, you guys get ready to go to work. It is a little cloudy out there. And I find myself again in a situation where I might get my ass wet. Oh my goodness. And again, I have the wrong helmet on for fighting rain. But again, I just put my V-Stream windshield on and I'm hoping it'll help me in the fight where I'm not getting bust in the mouth with them big old raindrops. I got my gear in here though if I have to. I hope I don't need it, but it is definitely in here if I have to put it on. Let's give old Charles Gibson a call, see what he got on his mind.
It's
He did some good things for them folks over the years. Give old Charles Gibson what I like to call storyteller. The storyteller. And of course, he ain't gonna answer the phone.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box.
Come on in here, storyteller. We can bring old Charles Gibson on here, let him tell us what he had going on. What? Let me tell you what he's doing. His GoldWing has just crossed over 200,000 miles. If I am not mistaken, he has a 2002 GoldWing, and I'm not exactly sure how long he's had it or when he got it, and how many miles he's actually put on it. But he is very, very knowledgeable on that motorcycle and GoldWings. He's a candidate to buy D Porter's bike, the one I posted up there to sell. So I'm not sure if that's what he's gonna do or go ahead and fix his. But he was he put a track, no he didn't. He put a progressive front end under it. He likes it pretty good, and he went with the progressive spring, the same setup that I put in mind, except I'm gonna have traction in the front of the bike, my F6B, and I'm gonna have a progressive spring on the rear shock. But I'm gonna have a traction braided line.
Bring it back on now on the big dog, slap it.
There he is. Charles Gibson's on the line, you guys. You on here with
What's up?
you on here with YouTube, man.
Oh, I'm on YouTube with the slap it dog. Come on, slap it dog.
Yeah. Give him a slappy dog.
No, big. Yeah, I heard him barking. What are you doing, man?
Man, headed to work, and I'm riding the bike like a damn fool because it looks like it's about to pour down on me.
Well, I've been over. I left to go to the doctor this morning and got my doctor's appointment in, and then head and went on. I was on the motorcycle, so I just went in the Dragon, hung out over there for a little while, and then came back over here and. But just come off the Smoky Mountains on the from the over to Gatlinburg side, and I'm literally at the Sugarlands Visiting Center parking lot.
Oh man, you took full advantage of that doctor's day, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was a fantastic doctor's appointment. It lasted about 12 hours. Awesome.
Did you do anything good to your bike with that shock?
No, no, I'm going home right now. I'm going to go ahead and do River Road and go back and do that half of the I guess you'd call it the missing link.
Yeah.
And I'm going to missing link that back to Sevierville onto the house. I'm going to pull her in there, and I'm going to start taking it apart.
Oh man.
So I can have it done by Saturday.
Did you do any research on the bump stop and all that?
Couldn't find one. Don't know what I'm going to do, and I'll lay it under my bike, and just without getting the tire off or the wheel off the bike and stuff, you just really can't see up in there to see what condition the one you have is. So I'm going to have to. Yeah, I figure it's I may not even have one, dude.
I was gonna say 200,000 miles. But doggone, you just now feeling it crashing though, right?
Well, I mean, I've been feeling it. You know, I've been feeling the bottoming out stuff for a long time, and I thought that most of that would have been where that fluid was, the expanding or whatever it was doing, or the loss of fluid or whatever in the shock. And I did that little trick to fill it back up. It started on 18 to 25 was all I had. Now it's 8 to 25, so I gained about an inch, but I'm still on the ground.
Right.
So I can't imagine that the spring wouldn't really give me a lot more lift.
Right.
Because it was amazing to look at yours and see how high the back end of your bike was up. You're only on what, 8?
Yeah, 8.
And your bike is way up off the ground compared to mine.
Right, yeah. Of course,
and mine's on 25. Yeah, mine was on 25.
Of course, the more higher it is, the more lean and tilt you got.
Yeah.
I hate to see you if you had any more tilt on that Dragon. You'd be done daggone sport bike action.
I know. If I could lean much more over, I'd be scraping my handle grips.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, But I ran into a lot of guys over to Dragon today, and I hung out there for a little while, and kind of then I thought I'd ride over to 28, go by the dam, go by Fontana, then come back, and I went on into Bryson City and rode the old road back to Cherokee. There was a few elk out in the field, just 3, but people were stopped, and then I got on up the mountain a little bit, started up the mountain and got another 4 or 5 that were sitting on the road people were looking at. I just got here to Sugar Land. Coming down the mountain, got to see a bear cross the road. So
really?
Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool today.
Damn.
And it was a skinny bear too.
He better be glad he wasn't wanting to eat you.
Yeah, he's skinny, man. That bear was skinny. He looked like a dog almost running, but it was a bear. So that was kind of cool. So yeah, I'm gonna go home and get in the garage and lay under this thing and see put my order together. That I'm gonna start taking stuff off, get my seat off. Yeah, man, I can get the seat in the shelter off and the rear wheel off in an hour.
Okay.
And then, but now the tank, I'll take my time taking the tank out. We'll run the gas down to almost nothing, so I won't have to siphon hardly any out.
Right.
I've had it out before, when I had the motor. I really want to go ahead and just while I'm doing this, just go ahead and take the motor out too.
Oh, really?
And I really do. I think my vibration is getting worse. And I fear I've got a bearing or something out, and I'm afraid it's just getting worse. And the only thing that's rotating, again, when this bike is idling, would be that outer clutch basket. It's running all the time. The inner one catches and runs your drivetrain as you use your clutch. It's running all the time, but I lean the bike over pretty far, and I can get it to vibrate pretty good.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so it's something. I think it's that clutch mechanism right there in the center that's doing it. And I'm pretty sure it's that bearing. And the only way to get to the bearings is take the motor out, take the back of the casing back off again, and put bearing in it. And that might not even fix it. But you're going to have to do something. Yeah, I'll just ride the valve. I'd ride the valve. I just don't have the parts right now in my possession to put it back together if I get it apart. I don't have a gasket, a clutch gasket, and another casing gasket stuff. I'm going to order those. They won't be here by the end of the week, so I kind of don't want to get into all that. But I would like to get that shock on there or that spring on there by the end of the week and get it back together. And if I take it back apart, that's fine too.
So have you crossed over the 200,000 mile mark on that?
I'm at 190. Let me look. I'm at 196,721. So I'm 279 miles from 279 miles from 197. I kind of want to get to that 200,000 mile mark before I pull the motor out of it.
I heard that. What?
I might do that.
Are you riding right now?
Yeah, I'm sitting on the bike in the Sugarland Visiting Center, just talking to you because
Yeah.
I'm in and out of a signal.
Right. Yeah,
I was coming down the mountain. I was coming down the mountain when you first called.
Okay.
I called you this morning on my way to the Dragon just to see what you were up to. I thought I might swing by the house and say hey, but it's about 11ish. I figured you weren't up yet.
Yeah, no, I wasn't even up. Now, did you
Okay.
did you get that text I sent you about D40's bike?
Yes, I did.
What do you think about that?
I think I ought to go get it. Is what I think. I'm gonna drop some more hints tonight with my wife about the motor in this thing, and I'm starting to get worried about it. So see how she reacts. And
yeah.
if she says you ought to get one just to be safe, then I'll go get it.
Yeah, I told him. He said he was kind of trying to stick around that 13 mark. I said, well, I didn't even come back with you with that. I said he's kind of leaning towards that 12, more 11, 5, 12. He said, do you know him? I said, oh yeah. I said he's the one be on my videos helping me on my bike. He said, well, I sell it to him for 12. I said, well, I run that by you. That's why I said I sent that to you. See what you thought about that. But
I feel good about it. I would pay him 12 for it. I don't have an issue at all with the amount that he's asking. I would pay him 12. The question is, do I want to pull that trigger?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things, man, I've been looking at a Concourse Kawasaki.
Oh yeah.
ZX14, and I knew you had one for a little while, didn't you?
Yeah. Man.
What'd you think about it?
Oh, it's a beast, man. It's an all-out beast. I mean, for what I want to do with it, it was a little bit too much for me. And I used to love speed and all that, but me being my size, it still was a little bit kind of not comfortable.
Yeah, a little bit too sporty.
Yeah,
a little bit over a little bit.
Yeah. Well, not really bent over. Just had my legs choked up, kind of choked up on me. And I didn't.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I was thinking the same thing you were thinking, and I was thinking, man, and I've always liked them, and I rode a FJR 1300, and I didn't really like it that much. It wasn't physically big enough for me. I like a big physical motorcycle.
Yeah.
And so I knew that one was, so I sat on one, didn't ride it. I thought, man, I might lower this thing about an inch so I can get flat-footed on it good. And I could pick one of those up at 09 for like $5 with 30,000 miles on it. Black, just I could go over Bush Tech, get them to put a Bush Tech trailer hitch on. I could pull my Bush Tech with it.
I tell you what, a man of your size, that'll be right up your alley. It's still sporty, and it's got that touring package and then pad ears on it.
I know.
Yeah,
I don't know though, but I'm a GoldWing guy, man.
Are you? Now, how many
GoldWings
you had?
Guy. I've had 1, 2, 3. 1,100, a 1,500, and an 1,800.
Now, how many miles did that one have on it when you bought it? The one you got now?
I had 48 on it.
Woo! Okay.
So I put 152. I put about 150 on it.
Okay.
And then, and then listen, I love this bike. If this thing wasn't vibrating and I didn't worry about this motor, I wouldn't even be thinking about it, honestly.
Because it still looks good.
I know, I just keep riding it, but I don't want, and I guess if the motor broke, I'm just tired of this feeling this vibration, and you can't get it out because it's in the motor. There's no question.
Right.
So, and I just keep riding it, pulling my Bush Tech.
Let's get on down to work. Evidently, hopefully I can make it for the rain. I'm almost there.